I'm with Eddie Canales, and Eddie runs a charity called Gridiron Heroes. And you guys help athletes who have been suffered a spinal cord injury playing football. But you guys still love the sport of football, and you don't want to necessarily keep kids from playing. Tell me about your philosophy there.
Well, we still love the game of football. We think that the game itself has a lot to offer for our kids. They get a lot from it. We always hear that a lot of schools build, or a lot of football programs are built on military principles, which is great. And we appreciate that. Now, for our standpoint, the one principle that seems to always fall short is never leave a fallen comrade behind, and that's where we come in, because sometimes our kids are forgotten. But we still love the game of football, so what we try to do is our part on the prevention side. Our documentary right now is getting a lot of attention. Our documentary was the program that actually started the initial Heads Up program for the NFL and USA Football. It was shown to the NFL by Peter Berg, and it got their attention. We introduced the coach that created the Heads Up program, Bobby Hosea, out of California. It was the only evidence-based program out there where the LA 84 Foundation did the research. It indicated by using our program for tackling, it would reduce the helmet first impact by at least 43%. That's 100% of the crown taken out of the tackle.
So tell me a little bit of the specifics of what you guys try to get kids to do that you feel like will make their tackling technique a safer one to execute.
Well, the first part is making sure we identify some of the things that can make it harmful. We still, a lot of times, the old school was that put your helmet in between the numbers, put your helmet on the ball. We're asking them to lead with their head. So some of the terminology needs to change as well. And so, but part of the things that we're wanting to do is to make sure that you take the head out of the tackle. And it's the progression of how you teach them. We start it on their knees first. They get on their knees and they start, trying to do almost like a backward somersault, just to get the idea. Because the important part is your hips. Wherever your hips go, if your hips go out, then your head goes back. So, and that's taking your head out of the tackle, and that's what's important. Then you want to come up. You want to break down, your feet need to be in the right positions, and that's part of the progression. We start on their knees, they get up, they start knowing how to shuffle. But the other key to that, and that's really been helpful for what we've seen with the kids, is their legs, their hamstrings get a little bit stronger because they're going through the progression, going through these drills. They become a little bit stronger with their legs, which is very helpful. And but getting to that point, when they are able to break down and make the approach, they're coming up, you want to make sure you come up. And it's from shoulder blade to shoulder blade, keep your head up, shoulder blade to shoulder blade, come up and make the tackle. And then what you want to do is come up and rip up right here, rip up right here, and just bring it all the way up. And you're keeping your head up. But wherever your hips are, your hips go up, rip, come back. And so you're actually taking the head out of the tackle. And that's just the key part of it, is just making sure we keep the head out of the tackle. Right now, the only program out there that has any evidence that shows that it's a little bit safer for our kids is the Heads Up Tackling, the initial Heads Up Tackling program.
Well, and I would submit that one of the most important things that Eddie has done, and some of the folks he mentioned, is to get dialogue going about talking about what are techniques that we can use to make tackling safer. Eddie Canales from Gridiron Heroes, thank you very much. For the Fort Worth Weekly, I'm Rush Olson.